children, we are back with the new topic. Adjectives and its kinds. An adjective is a describing word. It adds something to the meaning of a noun or a pronoun and tells us about the quality of the noun or pronoun. Adjectives may be placed near the nouns they describe. For example, he is a handsome boy. Honest men are always honored. What a beautiful flower. It is a dangerous animal. So in these sentences, handsome, honest, beautiful, dangerous, they qualify or add something to the pronouns he or the nouns men, flower and animals respectively. So these are adjectives. Now what are the different kinds of adjectives? They are adjectives of quality, adjectives of quantity, adjectives of number, demonstrative adjectives, interrogative adjectives and possessive adjectives. Let us look at adjectives of quality. An adjective that shows the kind or quality of a person or a thing is called adjective of quality. For example, Mumbai is a big city. She is a good girl. So both big and good qualify Mumbai and she. They tell us the quality of a person and place. Next is adjectives of quantity. An adjective that signifies the quantity or degree of the noun or pronoun by answering how much is called an adjective of quantity. These kind of adjectives are used for uncountable nouns. For example, give me some sugar please. Preetham did not eat any rice. Now in these sentences, some and any quantify sugar and rice. The adjectives of quantity tell us how much of a thing is meant. Now the next is adjectives of number. An adjective of number tells the number of a noun. That is how many persons or things are being referred to in a sentence. For example, 2 hands have 10 fingers. Sanchita made several calls from her mobile. In these sentences, 2, 10 and several quantify the number of hands, fingers and the calls. So the adjectives of number tell us how many things or persons are meant. It answers the question how many. Let us now look at demonstrative adjectives. An adjective that demonstrates or points out a person or a thing in a sentence is called a demonstrative adjective. For example, these apples are sour. This well has been without water for years. Now in these sentences, both these and this point out the apples and the well. So it answers the question which. Now we have interrogative adjectives. An adjective that signifies the type of noun or pronoun by asking questions is called an interrogative adjective. This adjective is used with the noun to ask a question. For example, how much water can you drink? Which school do you read in? Now in these sentences, both how much and which have been used for the nouns water and school respectively. So they are called interrogative adjectives. Next is possessive adjectives. An adjective that shows possession or belonging is called a possessive adjective. For example, our house is near the post office. This is her biology book. In these sentences, our house means the house belongs to us or the house is possessed by us. And her biology book means the biology book belongs to her or the biology book is possessed by her. So it answers the question whose. Now we come to degrees of comparison. Adjectives of quality have 3 degrees of comparison. They are positive degree, comparative degree and superlative degree. Let us look at the following examples. Manisha is a good girl. In the above sentence, the adjective good is used for Manisha as a single girl. She is not compared with any other girl, so this is known as a positive degree. Another example, Anisha is better than Manisha. In this sentence, the adjective better is used to compare the quality between Manisha and Anisha. So this form of adjective is known as comparative degree of adjective. Here, better is the comparative degree of good. The word than is used immediately after the comparative degree of the adjective. Now look at this example. Anamika is the best girl of the class. In this sentence, the adjective best is used to compare Anamika among all the students of the class. So here best is the superlative degree of good. The word the is used before superlative degree. So formation of comparative degree and superlative degree can be done through various rules that we follow. Now, comparative degree and superlative degrees are formed by the following ways. The first rule is by adding ER and EST to the positive degree. Now, if we look at these examples, for positive degree we have this adjective sweet. Now, how do we turn it into comparative? By adding ER. So, sweet becomes sweeter. And how do we change it into the superlative? By adding EST. So, sweet, positive, sweeter, comparative and sweetest is the superlative. Let us see a few more examples of adjectives in positive, comparative and superlative degrees. Light is the positive, lighter is the comparative and lightest is the superlative. Similarly, cheap becomes cheaper or cheapest for superlative. Great becomes greater for comparative and greatest for superlative. Young becomes younger for comparative and youngest for superlative. Kind becomes kinder for comparative and kindest for superlative. Bright becomes brighter for comparative and brightest for superlative. Similarly, rich becomes richer for comparative and richest for superlative. Another rule is, that is rule 2, when the positive degree ends with Y and is preceded by a consonant, the Y is changed into I before adding ER and EST to the positive degrees. Example, busy, busier, busiest. Merry, merrier, merriest. Greedy, greedier, greediest. happy, happier, happiest. What is the next rule? Rule 3. When the word ends with E, we add R and ST to the positive degree. Examples: feeble, feebler, feeblest; noble, nobler, noblest; simple, simpler, simplest; large, larger, largest; able, abler, ablest; brave, braver, bravest; white, whiter, whitest. Let us look at Rule 4. Rule 4. When the positive degree ends with a consonant preceded by a short vowel, then the consonant is doubled before adding ER and EST to the positive degrees. For example, sad, sadder, saddest; thin, thinner, thinnest; red, redder, reddest; hot, hotter, hottest; big, bigger, biggest; dim, dimmer, dimmest. Rule 5. By introducing a new word, for example, for, former, foremost; little, less, least; good, better, best; bad, worse, worst; far, further or farther, and furthest or farthest; much, more, most. The last rule, Rule 6. By using prefix more and most or less and least to the positive degree. For example, intelligent, more intelligent, most intelligent; expensive, more expensive, most expensive; kind, more kind, most kind; ordinary, more ordinary, most ordinary; prompt, more prompt, most prompt; proper, more proper, most proper; beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful; important, more important, most important; qualified, less qualified, least qualified; ordinary, less ordinary, least ordinary; prompt, less prompt, least prompt; tangled, more tangled, most tangled; delicious, less delicious, least delicious; difficult, more difficult, most difficult; expensive, less expensive, least expensive; beautiful, less beautiful, least beautiful; titled, more titled, most titled. So it has become easy now.